you then.
Hello Facebook, Heather here from Nima. I'm so excited to be doing Facebook Live on Nima Day, which is our 1-year anniversary since shipping our Nima Gluten Sensor. We're just celebrating this milestone in the company and also joined by some folks in the community and really trying to show our appreciation to all the folks in the Nima community that have been with us for the last year. And we're also going to be announcing our 4 winners from our Nima giveaway. We're giving away 2 Nima Gluten Sensors and 2 Nima Peanut Sensors, which are still in pre-order. So you're going to be first to get your peanut sensor if you win. So we hope everyone's excited. I want to introduce everyone on our panel today. So first I have Sharon Wong. She's the blogger at Nut Free Walk, which is a blog about allergy-aware Asian fare. She has 2 sons with peanut and tree nut allergies and avoids many other foods, but she also writes about recipes, cooking techniques, Asian ingredients, and of course food allergy awareness and advocacy to help families a lot like hers. So thanks for joining us, Sharon.
Thank you for having me.
And then next we have Emily Greenberg. She's a designer at Pottery Barn Kids, but she also moonlights as the San Francisco Celiac Meetup organizer. So she first moved to San Francisco and found that there wasn't a lot of support for other celiacs and gluten-free folks, and she took charge and started a meetup all on her own, and now it's thriving in what, a year, at least a year
about
later,
a year.
about
a little over a year.
And she's been using Nima since the very beginning, and we're happy to have her here to celebrate with us.
Thanks, Heather.
And then last but not least, if you've watched Facebook Live with us before, you know Sho Takahashi. He's our community manager here at Nima. He's here to share some fun anecdotes about the past 365 days with Nima. Hey, Sho.
Hey.
So let's go ahead and get started. Just so you guys know, if you have any questions, type them in the comments. We're going to be answering questions throughout, but we're also just going to have a little conversation about Nima in the past year. So Emily, I'd like to start with you. Just tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you found out about Nima.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with celiac disease in 2010, and after years of misdiagnoses, so it was very life-changing. And then I moved to San Francisco about a year and a half ago and really wanted a support group, and so through meetup.com started the San Francisco Celiac Disease Meetup, and we now have 130 members and going strong. It keeps so the celiacs and gluten-freers are coming out of the woodworks, and it's great. So in Nima, so I actually first saw it at Pika Pika, this great restaurant in San Francisco, advertised, and was like, what is that? And then I reached out to Nima to try to see if they could work with the meetup group, and showed up at one of, I forget where, but at one of our previous meetups.
Upsider.
Oh, at Upsider, that's right. And we tested some food, and I've been so excited to use the product, and it's a life changer. So
It's great.
Great. Yeah. And Sharon, how did you first hear about Nima and when?
I heard about Nima maybe about 4 or 5 years ago when you guys were still developing the product. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh, but they're going to be doing gluten-free. And but I've been following along, just seeing how you guys been doing, how do you use it, and how effective it is. And so I'm really excited that you guys are going to have a peanut detector. And thanks.
And can you share a little bit about your family and
Oh, sure.
some of the stories with your sons?
Yeah. So I have 2 sons. They're teenagers now. They're 14 and 16. And both of my sons have food allergies to peanuts and tree nuts. And my younger son, he was so sensitive that he could walk into a room where people were eating nuts the day before and would have a reaction. And so I'm like, oh, we really need something to identify whether or not food is safe or not. And just as a backup, we have our routine, we have our safe foods, but sometimes we go out or we might go to someone else's house and I just don't really know if there's going to be cross contact. So I've had my eye on Nima for a long time, and I'm really excited about your launch.
Yeah, we're super excited to just keep expanding and getting Nima technology out to as many people who need it. Sho, what else has been exciting to see about the growth in the Nima community over the last year?
I mean, it's been a year. January 26th, Nima Day. That's when we launched. I saw it on my Facebook feed that we launched last year, but it's been really exciting to just see. I saw one post have a right here. This is an Instagram post that I saw the other day where someone reposted basically 1 year ago that they did their first Nima test.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
Basically the quote says, "My first Nima test was exactly 1 year ago. This little pocket chemistry instrument has completely changed my life. Thank you, Nima Sensor, for a year's worth of eating out safely." And so this is Sarah from Arizona just posting. She was testing some food items here exactly a year ago. when, there's been some updates. Even the smiley face on here looks a little different from a year ago. So it's been really exciting to just see sort of, what people have been up to, especially on social, on Nima Test, that people are just sharing all these photos. And so speaking of more photos, I also wanted to share, this one really excites me. This is Nima at weddings.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys real quick. This is basically our friend Joe. He's Joe the celiac pilot, and this is Rochelle. Tiny Tina terrorizes good. I think that's. But anyways, they're both in their wedding attires, and you can see Nima at the table here, and you can see Rochelle holding on to Nima. So it's just been really awesome to just see, just Nima in everyone's day-to-day life in this past year.
And at these like huge milestones in their lives too, helping them stay healthy for big moments. And, being able to have a stress-free wedding. I mean, that's all we could dream of at
Joe
Nima too.
had 4 Nimas at his wedding because a lot of his extended family members, can't have twins, so they just wanted to make sure, everything they're eating is gluten-free.
And it sounded like Nima helped him pick a caterer too, which was really cool.
That's
great.
So another thing I really just wanted to I'm really proud of our community is just seeing how kids are getting involved. So you can see here, basically Josie here, she wanted to get a Nima. She wanted to get a Nima, so she started basically a celiac fundraiser, like a hiking fundraiser, to get a Nima to raise enough funds to go on a family trip together. Use Nima to go on a safe family trip together.
Nice.
And this is Annabella here. Basically, she uses Nima, and she showed off presented Nima at her local celiac support group. So we have basically kids taking charge. Nima's very easy to use, but basically kids taking charge, just saying, hey, like food sensitivities, like I'm going to take control. So it's just really been exciting to see this in the community.
And speaking of meetup groups and sharing Nima there, Emily, I'd love to hear how you've used Nima at your events and what the response has been.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I mean, these meetups, we get to talk about everything, and Nima always comes up. And a couple members have Nimas, and I've loved because I've even through the year had to gain confidence in using it and trusting it. And I get really bad stomach pain when I get glutened. And there's another meetup member, Allie, who is an avid Nima user, and the way she uses it is really interesting. And she says she always feels, well and healthy when the Nima shows a smiley face, and that's given me a lot of confidence. And we had a really interesting scenario at a fantastic gluten-free restaurant called Catava, where we, together all tested some of the food, and we tested some hummus where the hummus was safe, but the spices on top showed a wheat husk, and the owner took charge and was really concerned, and just seeing that even at an 100% gluten-free restaurant you need to be careful, and so it's impacting us even as a group, and we're spreading the knowledge, which is wonderful. So and piquing people's interest about the device, because I think it's really vital to have in your back pocket. I feel really strongly about that, so you don't limit yourself.
And show if people have other community groups or support groups in their area, what should they do if they want to learn more about Nima?
They should email me at sho at nimasensor.com. Basically, we've whether it's Emily's group or a group in Kentucky, group out in Washington, just we have a lot of Nima community members, Nima owners that want to help spread Nima. And obviously, like demoing Nima, there's some costs associated with the capsules, and maybe other people need more information. So, I've sent out to different groups, boxes of capsules, brochures, set up discount codes, just to make it a little bit easier. Because at the end of it, still a lot of people are still just finding out about Nima, and they have a lot of questions, and they're probably going to learn the best from actual Nima users. So, if anyone out there using Nima and you're part of different meetup groups or support groups, celiac, gluten-free, or even peanut various allergy, just reach out to us, and then the email should get to me, and I'll try to work something out so we can help support you, basically get the word out for us, because that's how it's also been really spreading for this past year.
That's sure. And also, if you want to drop it in the comments, if you email show or comment on this video, we can also reach out, and we'd love to hear where everyone's tuning in from too. So drop your city in there. We're obviously all based in the Bay Area, but we love seeing how far Nima has spread across the country. Show shared some stories about Josie and Arabella. Sharon, I'd love to hear, as a mom with kids with food allergies, what are some of the biggest challenges you see for kids who have food allergies, and how do you envision Nima kind of becoming this tool in their lives as kids that are growing up and at schools and functions and trips and things like that?
I think that for children, their very first exposure to the challenges of living life with food allergies is when they are outside of their home and maybe at a school function or maybe at a birthday party or a wedding or whatever it is with their family. And they're always wondering, is this safe for me to eat? And along with that, there's always the anxiety of having a reaction and also of feeling different, of being the one person that has to say, does this contain nuts? Or to ask, if they can be accommodated or something like that. I think that is really a hard thing for kids. At some point, they become self-conscious, and it's really hard. And so I think that, having a detecting device is kind of like the last stand. They can at least always they can ask all the questions, but they can always quantify, is it safe or not safe for them. And then I think the other thing and I have older kids, and I think that the other thing is to start thinking about for me is, what do they do when they go off to college? When they go to eat at the dorms, or they want to eat out with their friends, or they want to go out for pizza or something like that. And it's not and then when things happen spontaneously, they can't necessarily call them up, are you nut free? What can I order? They can't have that conversation as readily. They can't plan ahead. So this may be more useful in more spontaneous situations.
Yeah, and I bet as they're growing up, it also creates more anxiety for you, because you're not always going to be there to help watch over. And
Exactly.
We've heard from a lot of folks in the community, from parents too, whose kids have Nimas. Just knowing that Nima's taking the first bite for their kids too is just a huge relief on the parents too.
Exactly. That first bite is so crucial.
Yeah. We're very quickly trying to expand into peanuts and make Nima as accessible as possible to everyone who needs it. What are the changes you've seen over the last year and how people are purchasing Nima? Are there different ways, they can take advantage? And
I have a slide for that too. So one of the exciting things, and this is on Instagram as well, but it's been very exciting to basically see people excited that now, because I think we've sort of built credibility too as sort of a device, our website is, it doesn't look like some fake product or something like that. So right here, basically, have you ever seen anyone grin like this while on the phone with their health insurance company? Probably not. I'm cheesing because I just got clearance to buy the Nima sensor using my HSA and medical benefits. I will now be able to test my own food for gluten. And so basically we have a very excited community member here, just really excited that she was able to use her her health benefits to either pay for the Nima or pay for the capsules. And because now more and more people have been able to do this, we've been able to get all the various informations from all our different customers, and now we have information on our website, on our support page, FAQ page, on sort of tips and documentation of what you can print out and send to your FSA, HSE, or basically employer, your health benefits to hopefully get it covered. So it's not full insurance coverage, but we're just trying to do our part to sort of help out, and everyone is kind of even on their own doing whatever they can to figure out how they can fit Nima into their lives. So it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, especially because Nima is not a medical device, but we, especially our team, we realize how important it is for health too, and feeling your best. And if you can take this proactive approach to your health instead of just reactive with EpiPen, or I don't even know if there's anything really great you can do after you get gluten.
No, just wait it out for about a week or so.
So just having this proactive tool has been really helpful for people's health.
Yeah.
And speaking of health, I've got these cupcakes next to me that are just calling our name. And we got them from a local gluten-free bakery. And they also said that these cupcakes specifically are nut-free, peanut-free. So we're going to test them and just make sure. But otherwise,
exciting.
we're going to celebrate with some gluten-free cupcakes here.
Yay.
So as we're testing, actually, I'm going to have Sharon, you're going to help me out with the nut sensor here.
Thank you.
So if you haven't seen us run a Nima test before, this is kind of how it works. You get a one-time use capsule, and you're going to put a little bit of food inside, about the size of a pea.
You can hold your Nima if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you.
So in this case, I would probably take some of the cupcake and some of the frosting, just to make sure that I'm testing both parts of the cupcake here.
And maybe a sprinkle.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
let's
a good
get a
idea.
sprinkle in there too.
Those, you never know.
Let's get a sprinkle.
Okay.
And,
Is that too
about
much?
a pea-sized amount.
Yeah, maybe half that.
Have that. Okay.
Less frosting.
Okay. Okay, I think I got it. I just won't put all the frosting in.
Yeah, that's
Here
good.
we go. Okay. Wait, and
I
don't
have
put it,
that,
don't put it in
yeah.
the cap. Okay.
Right in there. That's great.
Is that good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect amount.
Just push it in a little bit.
And you can also use your little
Okay.
cap there to kind of mush it in there. And you're going to screw the cap on all the way. And you'll hear that pop. That means that it kind of activates the chemistry test that's going on in this capsule here. Make sure it clicks all the way. That's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, great.
And so then,
We need to wipe it? Oh, no.
not
Looks like-
necessarily.
Looks like it's good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
Okay.
you're going to put that in the sensor.
This way.
Other way. You had it right the first time.
Okay,
There you
alright.
go. A little bit of an angle. Perfect. Make sure it clicks. And then you're going to press the button once to turn it on. And then you're going to push it once more to start. That's great.
Okay.
And so we're going to put them here. The Nimas do have to sit upright for the test to run. So if you have it kind of on an uneven table, or maybe you're on like a picnic bench or something that's kind of uneven, just make sure it's upright. And it'll take a few minutes for the test to run. And so we're going to then see what these cupcakes turn out to be. So we'll put them here for now. So it takes a couple minutes. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for those results, I've got some trivia questions for you guys. See if you can
Okay.
guess. And you at home can also try and guess the answers. So over the past year of Nima testing for gluten, what city do you think it has the most Nima tests that have been run?
I think San Francisco or New York, but I think San Francisco.
I think San Francisco also.
And Sho, do you have a guess?
Well, Nima's developed here.
Exactly.
And we have, the SFC, meetup groups.
Yeah.
They do a lot of
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah.
So we have 3 votes for San Francisco. Chime in the comments, see what you think. And then I'm going to go through the answers after this. So then what about my number 2 question here? What do you think are the restaurants that have the most Nima tests for gluten in the whole country? What restaurant do you think has been tested the most?
Well, I know for sure, at least at the meetup group too, a lot of people, PF Chang's is like a top. And I did my first PF Chang's test ever. I've been avoiding it. And I got pad thai because I'm very scared of pad thai with just random soy sauce. And it showed a smile, but I know it's kind of a hit or miss. It just depends on the
Depends on the
chef.
location,
And,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that is one I know.
Sharon, what do you think?
That's a tough one. I would think maybe gluten-free bakeries in general would be tested.
Sho, any guesses?
It's either going to be, something everywhere around the world. So it's going to be Chipotle
Oh, Chipotle, yeah.
or I want to say McDonald's, but no one's going to really test
Yeah.
Fun fact about McDonald's, though, a lot of people test their French fries,
Oh.
and a lot of people get mixed
Oh.
mixed answers when they ask about McDonald's fries. There's actually hydrolyzed wheat protein
Oh.
Interesting.
in the ingredients list, and so they are not gluten free. And it's since it's hydrolyzed, it's like the soy sauce, it's the fermented gluten that Nima's not going to pick up. So we always said, don't even bother testing McDonald's fries; they're not gluten free. So
that's good
just
to
so you
know.
guys know. All right, so I have the answer for the most Nima tested city.
Did anyone in the audience?
Do we have any guesses?
We have cities: New York, LA, San Francisco, and that's it.
New York, LA, and San Francisco are some guesses. And drum roll, please. The most tested city is, in fact, San Francisco.
Yeah.
We also
Awesome.
at the office probably contribute to about
Yeah,
half those
yes.
tests. But there are just a lot of people here in the Bay Area being very, tech savvy and love gadgets. We have probably our biggest customer base here in San Francisco too. The second most tested was New York, so it's a great guess, and they're actually a very gluten-free friendly city.
Yeah.
Number 3 was San Diego, which was kind of a
Oh, wow.
surprise to me, since LA is not on the list of the top 5. Number 4 was Orlando. Figured Disney World. You can probably guess that people do a lot of testing there. And number 5 was Austin, Texas.
Wow.
Cool.
All right, and the top 5 most tested restaurants. Any guesses online?
Chipotle, P.F. Chang's, Starbucks,
Yes.
That's
Red
good.
Robin. That's it.
Well, you guys were all on the money. Those are our top 5. So the number 1 was P.F. Chang's. So yes, a lot of people wonder because it's the shared kitchen. You never know what you're going to get at P.F. Chang's. So we've also got a blog post up on our blog about a lot of the test results that we've had from the Nima community at P.F. Chang's. Number 2 is Red Robin. Everyone wonders about those fries and the burgers. They have gluten-free buns. Oh, do we have test results?
Still
Nope,
going.
still going.
Just checking.
Still going. Number 3 is Chick-fil-A. We don't have many here in the Bay Area, but they're definitely nationwide, and people want to test those grilled chicken tenders. Number 4 was Starbucks, that gluten-free breakfast sandwich. It's certified gluten-free.
yes.
It's an excellent sandwich, but people just want to make sure. And then number 5 was Chipotle.
Wow.
So you guys are just right on the money. All right, let's see how we're going here. We still got a couple minutes left. So something else. Oh, we've got a question, a couple questions from the online audience here. So the first question is, when will the peanut sensors be out? When will they be out? They didn't realize that they were close to being ready. So we actually have our pre-sale for the peanut sensor already live on our website. So from now through March 8th, you're going to be able to pre-order your peanut sensor. It's going to ship later this year.
Just point it this way.
Probably mid-2018. It'll start shipping out, but if you pre-order, you get $60 off that retail price. So if you're interested and you think you're going to be using it, it's a great time to order now because you get it at probably the lowest price it'll ever be. And that'll come with also your first 12-pack of capsules. So head to nimasensor.com/peanut to learn more about the peanut sensor and the pre-order, and you can pre-order there as well. Second question is, how do you know if the whole piece of food is peanut-free if you just test a small piece? That question is from Allie. That's a great question. It's a question we actually get from a lot of people.
Smiley.
So the gluten sensor, we've got a smiley face. If you can see it, that means
Gluten-free.
it's gluten-free. So the bakery label was in fact correct. We're still got a little bit longer on the peanut test here. But so Allie, it's a great question. We can't guarantee that an entire plate or cupcake is peanut-free. We like to say that Nima is a supplement to all the things that you're already doing. You're still going to ask questions of the waitstaff. You're going to look at ingredient labels. It's not a replacement for all of that stuff that you
Same with
already
those cupcakes
do.
too. It doesn't
Same
mean
with
that
the
all the
cupcakes.
cupcakes are gluten free, but
Yeah.
you know, at least that one, you know, the one cupcake that you're about to eat, you tested several, you know, kind of areas from it. so.
Exactly, yeah. So, you know, if you do have a peanut allergy and you're still iffy even after you get that smile on Nima, you can, it's still up to you. You can definitely say, no, I don't want to eat it. So this peanut sensor, or this cupcake, we got a smiley face on our peanut sensor as well. So the samples that we tested were gluten-free and peanut-free. So I can pass these around if you guys want to help
please.
yourself. We
Okay,
can
thank you.
celebrate with some cupcakes. Any other
The one that I
questions? We've
mashed.
got a couple more while we're chowing
I'm gonna
down.
wait till later.
Okay. Oh, great. Cheers.
Yeah, enjoy.
Okay.
All right, so can we get a link to a close-up video of the correct test sample size in real-life use from Marie? We can definitely post that. We've got a lot of great
On our FAQ, we have some
on our FAQ, but also our
diagrams.
YouTube
Yeah.
page, youtube.com/Nima Sensor. We've got a lot of testing tips and tricks videos. What we can say is the correct sample size is about the size of a pea. So a little green pea, that's all you want, whether it's a liquid or a solid. Keep it really small. If it's something powdery or you know, maybe really crunchy, add a couple drops of water just to make sure that it breaks down a little bit easier. But otherwise, yeah, keep it that size of a small pea. And then Deanne asks, how much will the test file refills be for the peanut sensor? So it's going to be equivalent to the gluten sensor. They're going to come in packs of 12. So you'll get a box of 12 capsules. Each one's individually wrapped. A box of 12 is $72. If you become a premium member or subscribe for automatic delivery on your capsules, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly, then it's $59 a month. So you save a little bit if you become a premium member or if you decide to subscribe. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about the premium membership that we just launched.
Yeah, it's basically not to drop other company name, but like I think of it like an Amazon Prime. Like, you know, it's like if you just need that extra 2-day service. But what the premium membership program, it is $9.99 a month, and what you get with it is basically the discounted capsule prices. In addition, you're going to get 2 Nima tested reports, and we do have the Nima tested reports on our website. They're $10 value, but you're going to get 2 different ones basically every month. So far, we had a Nima tested report on Red Robin, or you know, like various chocolate chip cookies, packaged chocolate chip cookies out there. That's kind of gone out for the last month, and different sort of promotional offers with different gluten-free brands, or maybe, you know, other technology companies that are sort of in maybe the food tech space. So all these partnership offers. So it does pay for itself, especially because, oh, there's an alarm. Ooh. We'll get through that soon. It does pay for itself because in addition to the discounts for the capsules, you also get 1 free capsule box as becoming a Nima Premium member. So it is basically a you know, monthly subscription, but as long as you go through your first 6 months, you get 1 free box, which pretty much pays for itself, and you get the Nima test reports and all the discounts. So you know, if you're using capsules, no matter, even if you're using 1 box of capsule a month or 1 box of capsule every 3 months, it's, you know, having the premium membership, we know that it can add value to it. So we just launched it this past month, but a lot of people are signing up for it, so it's really exciting.
And we're excited to go beyond just the device. We think we think of Nima as a platform, and it's really this holistic experience helping you live a better gluten-free or peanut-free friendly life. So we don't want to be just that one test result at your meal, but just like this broader lifestyle of reports and helping you buy better products and eat better at restaurants. So we're really excited about
People
the
were
premium.
asking if, like, we're not going to have a, you know, community email or newsletter or anything like that for if you're not part of the premium membership. That's not true. We're still going to be cranking out all the different weekly contents, blog posts, all the social media posts,
The blog posts
like
are
everything you've been getting so far with that our team has been, you know, pushing out. You're still going to get it. It's just that now we have other people working even harder to get the premium content out.
Getting
too,
even
so.
more.
Yeah.
So that's why it's premium.
So if
It's
you already like the
exclusive
content that you've already seen for the past 1 year, like, you get more of that. So it's worth it.
And if you heard those beeps that our alarm went off, that
That's my
means it's
alarm.
time
126
for our giveaway winners.
Yay.
We're super excited. So we've had several thousand entries. People are really wanting a gluten sensor and a peanut sensor. Our marketing assistant and producer, Kayla, is going to be using a random number generator to help us pick names from the entries. So we're going to start first with our first gluten sensor giveaway.
All right, let's roll this out. All right, we've got number 944. Hold on, I have to look it up in the spreadsheet. Number 944 is Katie Dyke.
Yay!
IEC. She says, my niece has celiac, and I'm sure she will want to test everything.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You're going to be getting a gluten sensor for your
Yay.
niece. We're so excited. We'll be sending you a message and making sure that we get your shipping address so that your niece can have a Nima. We're super excited for you. So now let's do our first peanut sensor giveaway.
All right, okay. Let's roll the generator. Random number. And we got number 1935. That is Everett Hamby. He says, my child's food since he has a severe peanut allergies, and you can never be too safe.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yay.
Woo!
All right.
We'll be sending you a message as well. And just a reminder, the peanut sensors aren't shipping till later this year, but you got yourself a pre-order for the Nima, so you're going to be one of the first to get a peanut sensor.
Should we pause on maybe the last two?
let's pause. We'll keep some suspense
Yeah.
going. So as you guys are digging into your cupcakes there, Emily, what are some dishes or treats that you were avoiding before you had a Nima that now you've noticed you're like able to kind of add back into your life?
That's an interesting question. I think before, it's just eating out that I really was avoiding restaurants. And you know, grilling. I still, even with the Nima, grill the wait staff and everything. So I think, and talk to managers. So it's really, for me, eating out has been, I mean, I love to travel. And, you know, over the holidays, I took a trip to Boston that, you know, I was really using the Nima for the first time, like, you know, away from home, and it was really impactful for my way of life, and especially travel. So packaged foods, I used to really rely on the certification, but now with the Nima, I tested some brie cheese that over the holidays, it wasn't labeled gluten free, but it had no ingredients and it showed a wheat husk. So I'm learning how important it is to actually test non-certified food. So before Nima, it was just the certification logo that I would go by.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Sharon, what do you think you see your sons testing the most with Nima?
Well, I think that our pain point, or maybe the holy grail, if you want to call it, is finding frozen desserts that are safe. So there are very, very few nut-free ice cream makers. And I think but then when we go on vacation, we'll go someplace hot, and then they're like thirsty and they want a frozen dessert, or like a popsicle, or a ice cream cone, or something like that. And it's already really hard to find nut-free ice cream in general, but like frozen yogurt is kind of off limits. So I think that just being able to travel and be hot and get something cold, it would be life-changing for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ice cream in the summer is so crucial.
I know.
What other things are you seeing? Like, what other possibilities are the community being able to open themselves up to with Nima?
Yeah, it's I think kind of on the note of what you were saying about just grilling, making it easier to talk to. Let me see if I have a slide. I think I have a slide for everything. All right, right here.
This will be interesting.
Because of Nima, I was able to try out a new food item from the grocery store previously avoided. So this is after surveying our community members on the last year of what it's been like with the Nima, and we can see that this blue right here, 63.9% said yes to trying out a new food item that they previously avoided. So you're right here.
Yeah,
you're
yes,
right
definitely.
And this is kind of packaged foods, grocery foods, but on the restaurant side, it's even more exciting. Because of Nima, I tried out a new restaurant or a new dish at a restaurant, and you have 73.2% basically just trying out a new restaurant that they've just kind of been avoiding. So Nima gives you that extra tool to go out. And then once you're at the restaurant, you said you're talking to chefs.
Always, yeah.
I've been finding from community members that having Nima there, it's easier to talk about, because now you can say it's not about, I'm going to get sick. I have a device that's going to check your food, whether or not it's gluten-free or not. So it hasn't necessarily been 100%, but then I have some results here, basically saying because of Nima, it's been easier to talk about my dietary needs with friends and family, about 53% here. But right here, because of Nima, it's been easier to talk about my dietary needs with restaurants. That one, though, it's still at 40%. So we definitely still have some work to do on our end, on the community side, marketing side of things, just to see, maybe we need to talk more, we need to talk more to the restaurants. We need to create more, maybe brochures or cards or something that we can provide you, so that if you're using Nima, you can feel empowered to basically go out and feel safe about what you're eating at restaurants. But right here, it's been pretty cool. Is because of Nima, it's been easier to be more social, especially going out to eat with friends. And we have 57% of the people saying, it's been easier.
And always, by the way, when I'm out with friends, it's a great talking point, and it is everyone's excited because it's it's a science experiment. Check this out. But then someone at the table knows someone that has celiac, and or nut allergy or anything, and then they're like, oh, what is that? And then so it's always spreading that way too.
Yeah.
So.
And we've seen that some people say I'd feel awkward or I'd feel terrible busting out this sensor at a friend's house when they've cooked this great meal for me, and we say I would never want to get my friends sick if I cooked for them. And when people do bring Nima out, their friends and family are interested, and they're often gathering around Nima and cheering it on, oh, what did Nima say? Did you get your result yet? And we found that family members too, if the wheat symbol does pop up, they're coming to defense of their friends and family too. Hey, this is not safe. We need to, make sure to do another try at this dish, or find somewhere else to go, because there's here's this proof, my friend or family member can't eat here. So we found that it definitely starts the conversation.
I think
Speaking of proof,
I was just going to say that it opens up the conversation for what is cross contact.
Yeah.
How do you avoid it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the severity.
Yeah.
One last slide, guys. Because of Nima, I feel more confident about the food that's going into my body, and it was 82.5%. So, we're pretty excited that we can have a tool that at least it's a kind of smiley or no smiley, and at least you can talk about it. Make you feel better. Bring something to talk to your friends or the restaurant.
Brings data into the realm of everything, which is we've never had.
Yeah.
So
and it's connected to the app, which is also the part of the community where you can share, where you ate, and also on Nima Test and on social media, people are sharing it. So, you're not alone. You have other people that are kind of in this together, and we're all going together. So it's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we've talked about a lot already today. Before we get into our last two giveaway winners, if we have any more questions, if we haven't covered anything, type it down in the comments. We're happy to answer questions. If we don't have any, we have a couple. All right, so Melinda asks, do you think insurance will ever pick up the Nima sensor and help cover the costs? Kind of like diabetes test strips. So Sho mentioned earlier that some people are getting reimbursement from their HSA and FSA accounts purchasing Nima, which is great news, and we're of course just hoping to keep building on that, and we'd love to eventually get covered by insurance or have your doctor prescribe a Nima for you, even though it's not a medical device, but we know it can be a very helpful tool. So we'd love to keep working on that and building on that because we know that people are feeling a lot better when using it. And our next question from Marie, are we more likely to get a false negative if the sample size is too small or if it is too large? So also just to define for the whole group what false negative means is if you get an incorrect smile on here. So if it says there's no gluten but there really is. Our device has been developed to be highly sensitive and specific to gluten at 20 parts per million. However, we can pick up below that, and Nima has been designed to be that sensitive because we want to just get rid of that exact thing happening. So we don't want false negatives. We're more likely to show a false positive or something that has gluten below 20 parts per million because we want to avoid false negatives, because we understand it's worse to get sick than to just avoid a food that maybe only has 5 ppm of gluten in it. The sample size is mostly to make sure that you don't clog the capsule. So if you put too much food in the capsule, you're going to get an inconclusive result because Nima can't process if it gets clogged. So the sample size isn't really about accuracy, it's more just about making sure that the Nima can perform and you have an optimized test. However, if you're worried about certain types of foods or sample sizes, definitely email us, support@nimasensor.com, give us a call. We're happy to help walk you through. We have some really great Nima coaches, Sho is one of them, but happy to set up calls and kind of walk you through your first test too as you're learning what the different sample sizes are. And our next question from Carol, when will you have premium membership for Peanut Sensor? That's a great question. So the premium membership is basically all of the data that's in the app, but aggregated in a really interesting way that you can't get in the app. So as soon as the Peanut Sensor launches and we have a lot of test results from the community, that's when we can start launching that program. So as soon as the Peanut Sensor actually starts shipping and is publicly available, you'll be able to add on that premium membership as well. But you can still pre-order now and add premium membership on at any time. All right, Vicky, when you tested the cupcakes, is that the average amount of time it takes to test each item, or does it vary? Great question. It can vary. Usually if it's gluten-free or peanut-free, the test will take a little bit longer. It's going to run the full 4 or 5 minutes just to double check and make sure that it's actually free of that ingredient. However, if there's a lot of the allergen or a lot of gluten, the test result might come back a little bit faster, maybe 2.5 or 3
I've
minutes.
noticed that.
Yeah. So
That's
when it's taking
real.
a long time, that's usually a good sign.
Yeah, I love it. That's what I say as a positive. This is good. It's taking a while. But yeah, it's worth it. Worth waiting.
All right, and we have another question from Lisa. I often forget to open the Nima app when I test food in a restaurant, and I'd love to be able to add the test results manually. Will this feature be possible in future updates? So even if you don't open the app at the restaurant, as long as you sync your Nima, even it can be a day later, it can be 10 days later, your sensor will store about 30 test results until you sync to the app. So if you have an iOS device. It can be an iPad or an iPhone. Just make sure you sync to the app at some point. It'll show all of your unlogged tests, and you can go in and manually review those. If you're on Android right now, the app is just for firmware updates. You can still upload your test results, but you can't log them just quite yet. But we are definitely working very hard on building out our Android and software development team so that we can get functioning, fully functional with all the features and an app out there for you. But yeah, you can feel free to review at any time. I often don't review right away. I wait till I'm home later that day because you're at dinner, you're talking, you're chatting, you don't want to be on your phone.
Or I'll do it a little later, and so I'll always take photos because then you can go back and see the date because you may forget where you were, and a photo of the menu too, just to remember. I don't know.
And yeah, we've also sometime this year love to get out like the social sharing option too, where you can share photos in the app of your meal too with your Nima. Kind of because we have all this sharing happening on Instagram. We're like, let's put that in the app. So
that would be cool.
Some other features are coming too.
Nice.
All right, more questions from Sarah. How many capsules do you all use in a month on average? I'm gonna.
That's a good.
I know you're not using capsules yet.
I haven't tried yet. It depends on my lifestyle that month, or when I'm traveling, I used, I think, almost a full box, which is 12 capsules. So like over maybe a span of 3 weeks, I used the 12, just with all of the eating out and eating at, not my own house, other people cooking. But I think in my daily life, because I really don't eat out a lot, maybe one box every 3 months or so. And you have to be aware they do expire. So I try to also, what's fun is when they are going to expire, I'm like, great, I'll test like things I just wouldn't normally test, like spices in my kitchen or things. So, so I think one box for 3 months for someone that doesn't eat out a lot is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's usually about a box a month. But then we have a lot of users still, they're going through like 2 boxes, 3 boxes a month. So it kind of depends on.
Yeah. If you have a lot of work dinners, to people's lifestyle, it just really depends.
Yeah, I would say for me, I do travel a lot, and we go to a lot of cities, a lot of gluten-free expos, so we're always traveling. And when I work for the company, so obviously I use it a lot, but every meal, if I'm eating out, like if it's French fries or breakfast potatoes or hash browns, and lunch you want to test salad dressings, it's just so important when you're traveling, whether it's for work or even for fun. Like no one wants to get sick on a trip, so we're always happy to also work with folks on your subscription. If it's monthly, bi-monthly, you can pause, you can skip, you can increase, decrease at any time. There's no penalties for that. So if you think you have a big trip coming up in the next month or so, we're happy to help you figure out what kind of package or subscription that you would need. Sharon, I'd be interested in hearing how often you think your boys would test.
I think that right now they probably won't. They'll only test like maybe once or twice a week when we go out or something like that. But I think that once my older son goes off to college, he'll probably test a lot. In the beginning at least, until he's absolutely certain that things are safe for him.
Got the hang of it. Yeah. All right, and we have Nicholas asking, would it be possible to log the test as the Nima is testing? That gives me something to do while I wait. After the test is over, I'm usually so hungry from waiting that I just want to dig in right away rather than log a test. We definitely understand you get hangry, and it's something that we can definitely look into. Usually once the result is done, that's when it can sync via Bluetooth, but we can always look into that kind of feature to kind of give you something to do to pass the time.
It's a good idea.
All right, it looks like those are our final questions. Keep writing in just in case, but we're going to get to our next giveaway winners. So our second gluten sensor winner, producer Kayla, who do we got?
All right, let me roll the generator. Okay, we got number 1321, Patricia Reber.
Patricia Reber.
Her reason for entering so that she can test food when they go out to eat.
Congratulations.
So more of the restaurant testing. We hear that. Congratulations, Patricia. We'll make sure that we get your gluten sensor to you very shortly. And last giveaway winner, our second peanut sensor pre-order will go to...
Drum roll, last one. Number 3134. That's Rick Larco. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. His reason for entering is that he can test desserts and camping rations / foods for his nephew Bryce.
That's a good one.
So Rick L We're going to be getting you your peanut sensor for you and your nephew for your camping and your dessert eating. Speaking of desserts, we're going to dig into these cupcakes now. We hope that you've all enjoyed hearing about all these stories from the community. We're really excited to celebrate 1 year being on the market and just keep on expanding from there. If you didn't win a sensor in the giveaway today, you can still get $20 off any Nima starter kit, peanut or gluten, for another $20 off with the code SMILE TODAY. So if you didn't win, you still win. And that's already $20 off the already discounted pre-order sensor price, $60 off the peanut pre-sensor. So you're getting essentially $80 off that peanut sensor retail price. So make sure you use that code. We'll send it out via email. We'll post it here again on Facebook. If you have any questions, support@nimasensor.com. If you're in a city that has a support group, email SHO@nimasensor.com if you want help in showcasing Nima to your community. Any other questions or last thoughts?
Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today. We really appreciate hearing all about your stories. Get your second generation gluten sensor now. You can also pre-order the Nima Peanut Sensor until March 8th. Don't miss out on that. So now we're going to enjoy these cupcakes. Happy Nima Day.
Happy Nima Day.
Happy Nima Day.